Bourbon and boxing.
Episode 75 with your host, Jeff, and Big Spade.
What is up, my people? It's the recap time on Bourbon and Boxing with the one
Yeah,
and only Chef Jeff, baby, and our boy
Spade, man.
Big
Big
Spade. Not just
Spade.
Spade, it's Big Spade, baby. What's
Big
up,
Spade.
man? We went live 5+ hours. We watched about 8 hours of boxing, though. We watched from Benavidez all the way through. It was 8.5 hours of boxing on Saturday. But man, were you disappointed with any of it?
Yeah, that
Maybe
damn
one fight,
performance was too
Ruiz
long.
Miller, but I think it for the summer. I think it by far it stood up to the name. Did you feel like it really kind of did us justice? Like we got a card that really kind of held up to it. We got some
Yeah,
ups.
but it was long though, bro.
It's cause that concert, man. Look, I want to throw a thought. We say we got to stop giving our ideas away, but we're gonna give a shout out to Turkey Al Sheik. My boy puts on some good shit, right? So we got to give him a little
Yeah,
bit of love on the show too. So we're gonna give him a little shout out for what he's been doing with boxing, man, putting it on his back, trying to straighten it up, trying to make shit right, putting these good fights together for everybody, right? So we got to give my guy a shout out. But if I had to give him one suggestion from what we watched on Saturday, it would be to do that concert first. Draw
yeah,
them motherfuckers in. Draw them in. Do that concert first. Draw
yeah,
that crowd in. Then they stick around for the boxing event afterwards,
yeah,
right? Don't
yeah,
do it in the middle when it's already 12 o'clock at night on the East Coast. And he's from Saudi Arabia. He probably don't know the time difference between the
yeah,
East and West Coast and all that kind of stuff. He's just putting on an event. But what I mean, we got done about 2:20 in the morning. Hey, I got up, got my ass to work. I got up and got to work. So but yeah, I mean, you know, but what do you think overall? Tough. Did you think it
nah,
lived up to it besides being long?
it definitely lived up to the hype. It was some kind of snoozer fights, but other than that, though, it lived up to the hype to me. Far as the card,
Yeah,
it was good fights. The fights I thought was gonna be good was good.
yeah.
So
I think they
you
shouldn't
know,
have had back-to-back heavyweights. They should have spread it out.
oh,
Had a
that
heavyweight in
heavyweight.
the beginning
Now
and then
that
a heavyweight
heavyweight
spread
fight
out.
was kind of terrible.
The
I'm not gonna
Ruiz
lie
Miller
to
one,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That one was. I thought it
That
was
was
a.
like
I
a
thought it
sparring match. Like
bad call, yeah, and it was long, bro, long. I was like, after a long night, that was not. I was like,
yeah,
man, we need this next fight to be action. You had to have Pitbull
yeah,
Zepeda or Venezuela be action, man. So
yeah,
that was the only thing that kind of kept me awake. It was a pretty good fight overall. We got some of
yeah.
the fight results down the bottom, of course, but I'm gonna go in. We're just gonna go to the headline real quick, and then we're gonna do a new segment that we got set up here today, man. Uh, we're gonna introduce you guys and kind of introduce my dude Big Spade to it also. You know what I'm saying? He's in surprise over here. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? All right. Of course, we saw Terrence Crawford defeat Israel Madrimov for the WBA superweight title via unanimous decision. Before we go into all that, let's start our new segment, guys. Here we go for you guys.
Big Spades Corner.
There we go. Big Spade's Corner, baby. When Big
Okay.
Spade, he's going to bring the topics to you, his topics, the topics that he brought to me today, and we're going to put up here, and he's going to answer. He's going to ask the questions, and I'll rebuttal, man. And he's going to let you guys know what's going on. Here's the first question Big Spade had for us, man. Run through with us. It's your corner, baby. Run this shit.
Let's say, all right. Do Terrence Crawford got more to prove? Was Earl Spence fight the only fight he needed to solidify his greatness?
I mean, this is your question here. To
Mm.
me, the Spence fight didn't solidify his greatness. We already knew how good he was, right? In my
Right, right,
opinion.
right. Right,
So
right, right,
uh
right, right, right,
we
right.
as fans, we knew who Crawford was. I don't think that solidified it. Uh, and does he have more to prove? Yeah, he's got more to prove. I mean, he's got another division to conquer. He conquers that division. He don't have to prove it, but you want to talk about solidifying your legacy?
Right.
You conquered the 154 division. I don't even think you should mess with Canelo. Conquer that one. There's so much talent at 154 right now.
There's a lot of
There's
talent. It seems
plenty
like,
of people for him to fight, bro. Plenty.
don't it?
A lot. A
The
lot.
154 turned into the 147.
Yeah. Well, you remember 135 was that division a couple years ago.
Oh yeah,
Loaded.
yeah, yeah. But a
Haney,
lot of
Tank,
people
all
start
them guys.
moving up to
Yeah. Went up to
140.
147
Yeah.
for a little bit,
So
and
it's
then
like
bam.
140 and 154 right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The 140's loaded and the 154, probably the two most loaded divisions in boxing right now. So I think
Yeah.
there's mass for him to conquer there, bro. You know what I'm
But
saying? Like
if he wanted to
what
retire today, where would you put him at?
man, he's at one of my top fives. He's
Oh,
definitely in my top five, and that's a good spot. I
nah,
mean,
it's
right
a
now, I mean that's
million
a
box.
hey,
It's
yeah.
it's gonna
There's a
be
lot of
boxes coming
boxers.
and coming. So top
Exactly.
five is a
So
good spot.
yeah,
You
and
ain't
I
say the
think
one, two. You ain't say the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You said top five. So yeah,
yeah, so it gives him room to move up too, because I think if he goes and unifies a fourth division, then or what's he? He's three divisions unified,
yeah.
and then this will be his fourth
No, no,
oh,
two. He'll
two.
be three.
So yeah, it'd
140
be
and
the
147.
and he'll be the first boxer to unify three divisions in the four belt era. So he was the first to do it once, twice, and then if he does it a third time, he'll be the first to do it.
Clarissa ain't.
To be honest, for the men, so I should clarify that.
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah. We
men,
got to start
for
putting some
men.
respect on
Yeah,
her
yeah,
name.
yeah, we gotta put respect on Clarissa's name. For
We
the
can't
men,
play
he'll
with
be
her
the
like that.
first to unify three different divisions.
Yeah,
So, yeah, good catch on that. No
yeah,
disrespect to Clarissa at home going, "What the fuck?" If you watching
yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's why I'm turning you up. That's why I'm
And
turning you up.
she got to get her respect. She got to get her
Yeah,
respect though.
yeah,
Yeah.
but what's your overall thoughts about, like we said, I think his greatness is already solidified, man. Like what we've seen this man do, even with the fight against Madridov, that was a good fight, man. He went
No,
up
that was a good ass fight.
and he didn't go up to fight a bum. He picked one of the
Nah,
toughest guys in that division. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Me personally though, I seen him kicking his ass. He dude won probably a couple rounds. I ain't gonna be biased, but
Yeah,
I was like, if you go back to our live, like I'm like, the shit I've been hearing is like from real boxing fans that's gonna keep it 100. Was like he was getting out over dude. Dude wasn't doing nothing.
yeah.
Like he
No, he
wasn't
was
doing
down.
nothing but fainting and
He threw
jumping.
more feints than he did punches. I felt like.
Yeah.
I really
And
felt
he
like he
was
did more
landing his
feinting.
best punch, and he wasn't hurting him at all.
No,
And they keep
no,
saying Terrence Crawford was getting hit with the right, but he was landing his best punch of the night, and
yeah,
it wasn't having no effect. He ain't hurt Terrence Crawford not one time. Now,
no.
now, what Terrence Crawford should have been doing after, like I say, remember, because I'm like, damn, he about to go get him, which he did go get him though. I know him, but he could have stopped that boy, man, going more to the body. Cause every time
Yeah.
after the round, he was like, I
I
was
think.
watching his breathing. Like, even though you
I
supposed
think.
to take deep breaths, but them was like, ooh, shit.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was,
yeah. Like he was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So you go after the body. I agree with that. I didn't see him go after the body enough. And I think as we saw in the fight, it was a lot of spurts. They would throw punches and spurts, but then back off because both of them had great counters. And that's
yeah,
the one thing I did see about Madrimov. He was countering really well when every time, Crawford would get those combos off. If he more than three, he would get caught with that
yeah.
right. So, and the counter game on both was really good. So neither was able to really throw anything at spurts, but Crawford was obviously
They both
he
was
controlled
patient as
that whole
fuck,
fight.
man.
Yeah. I
They
think they
was
were both
patient.
had fast hands, good little power. Nobody was able to hurt anybody, but Majidov, he,
Nah, he
I,
got hurt.
you got
He got
now
hurt, bro.
I feel like Majidov, his eye looked pretty bad at the end
No,
of the
he
fight.
got hurt. He got hurt. That's why he started grabbing. He
Yeah,
wasn't grabbing it. He wasn't
yeah,
grabbing.
that's
He
true. I
wasn't
forgot
grabbing
about
at
that
first.
late in the fight.
It wasn't
Yeah,
no reason to grab. Like it wasn't no
yeah.
reason. It wasn't no rough, rugged fight. It was a patient fight. So he
Yeah, that's
was.
why I'm waiting
He,
for that fight to come back out to where we could watch it
you
again.
trying to rewatch it again? Yeah,
Yeah, because man,
yeah.
by the time it got to that fight, bro, like I was into
I
it,
damn near
watching
want to
it.
watch it with you, so you
Yeah, so
because like the announcers was throwing people like, man, they
Right.
trying to trick your mind. But I'm like, bro, what the fuck is
Man,
they
I'd have to
like,
say, Chris, man, thank God for Sean Porter.
man?
Thank God
What
for Sean Porter because those announcers, I'll say it,
they
Sergio.
if
Uh,
they was judges, don't
what
ever
is it?
let them
Sergio
be no
Garcia is
judge.
Sergio Moros,
I don't even,
Mora.
bruh. I don't know. Both of
He's
them was
terrible,
clowns.
man. I'm gonna tell you right
Both
now.
of them.
I don't really care for Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix kind of sounds like a whiny little bitch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and I don't even know what his background in boxing is. I don't feel like that dude's really been in a lot of fights in his life. Maybe he surprises me, but he just doesn't look like a dude that's been in a lot of fights. But
Yeah.
his scorecards are always way off, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
Sergio Garcia or Moro, I think it's Sergio Mora. I want to get his name right. Uh, I respect him when he was boxing, but as an announcer, he's fucking terrible. He will absolutely try to tell you in every fight I've watched on the zone, the dude getting his ass kicked is the dude winning. And he'll throw one punch and you'll be like, see, he's just waiting for his time. And I'm like, bro, he's been getting his ass whooped this whole fight.
Yeah, like
His time's passed. Like,
even when he was throwing one punch, they was overhyping it, but they wasn't saying nothing about Terrence. I was on the live. I was saying,
yeah,
like, bro,
yeah.
they ain't just see the combination, and he just threw. What is they talking
Well,
like? What is
yeah,
they talking
Madrimov
about, bro?
Madrimov is a matchroom fighter. So of course they were showing that favoritism towards Madrimov. He's a
Man,
matchroom fighter. I didn't know
that's
that.
weak as
And
hell, though.
yeah,
That's weak
yeah,
as
that is
hell,
weak
man.
because you don't want to watch biased shit. Like Teddy Atlas always said, most of the time, regardless if it's top rank or if it's his own, when it was showtime, he always muted the commentary because it was hard to listen to some of these guys try to convince you a guy was winning that wasn't winning. And it'd be hard for you to watch a fight, constantly hear these guys telling you what's not going
That's
on in the fight. Like,
they
no,
they made me more mad. They made me more mad. I they like I enjoyed the fight because that's my boy, but they had me more upset on how they was commentating the fight. Like, damn, like y'all trying to, like, I
yeah,
see how people be getting cheated, and it just be like that was too much, bro. Like, all right, bro, but god damn, like y'all ain't naming nothing. This man doing good. Y'all ain't saying
yeah,
nothing about, like, nah, bro. We ain't going for that shit, bro. And then
yeah.
Eddie Hearns talking about, man, he was landing rights all night. All right,
He set the
boxing you gonna
toughness.
get hit, but like Terrence Crawford said, that shit wasn't hurting me. That shit wasn't
Yeah,
doing nothing. That
yeah.
shit wasn't doing nothing to me. And
Yeah, it's just Hearns trying to sell his fighter. Another question Big Spades Corner has for us.
oh yeah, who should Terrence Crawford fight next if not Canelo?
Now, Canelo has seemed to kind of this Turkey Al Sheik thing has become kind of a uh, what do you call this? That he's saying Canelo's just kind of being like won't even acknowledge, like he's not even fucking with him.
Right.
Like Turkey Alley kind of finding it offensive. Like he won't even meet with him. Say like he just throws ridiculous numbers out there. So Turkey Alley Sheik has kind of come along and said, "Look, I don't even want to make the Canelo Crawford fight anymore." And I think it's because he's like, "I'm not going to pay this guy." He thinks he runs by. He thinks he owns this fucking sport, and that I'm just a payday. And I think that's how Canelo looks. Like he just looks at Turkey Alley Sheik as a payday. Like you give me
I mean,
200
is he
million to fight
wrong
David
though?
Benavidez, 150. I mean, towards the end of his career, I mean, if the guy's putting out the money that he's putting out, you still got to stay realistic. And I think he's putting numbers out there that he knows nobody's going to match. I mean, when is the last time we saw a guy get paid 200 million for a fight? I mean, Floyd might have made 100 million on a fight with the ticket sales, the pay per view, and all that other
What?
stuff. But to get paid straight up 200 million for one fight, and that's not including ticket sales, pay per view. He'll get percentage of pay per
They
view
trying to
ticket sales.
outdo Floyd, man. He's never gonna be able to. If people didn't peep that years ago, two, three, he's trying to outdo Floyd. You won't. You gonna be you a great fighter, but you ain't outdoing Floyd. It's gonna be hard,
No,
bro. Like
no, I don't
like
believe he
he could
will
quit.
either.
He could quit that shit. Like and he act like I don't know who he said he look up to, but deep down inside, he know he look up to Floyd, man.
Yeah,
For real. You can tell how he move, how he, you know what I'm saying? Like, just how
yeah.
he move, how he act, all
Well,
that. Like,
I hate the privilege thing. Uh, and we'll get into more of the Canelo conversation without going off track on Spades Corner, Big
Okay.
Spades Corner. I don't want to go off too much track because that conversation is coming for us
Right, right,
later
right.
on
So
in the
we're gonna stay
segment.
on this.
So we'll stay on this right now as far as like, I don't think who does he fight next? Like we said, 154 is loaded, bro.
Loaded.
Why go up? You don't have to. You've got Tszyu, you've got Ortiz, you got Spence back at 154 now. He's officially at 154. You got Pandora at 154. You got Jose Ramirez at 154. These are all big fights for him. You know what I mean? And then in that amount of time, you could collect all them belts. And by the time he finally does that, maybe Boots has built a name for himself to come up and make that a reasonable fight for Crawford to want to take it. You know what I mean? And then, I don't see him fighting that many fights. What do you think? Maybe 3 more fights for him? If he gets the fight,
If
if he
he
unified enough to unify the division, right? So he's got to
if
do what? Get
if
3
he
more belts?
yeah, it depends on how fast I want him to fight in like 90 more days, for real, to be honest. Like,
I would like to
cause
see
he
him fight
just
twice a
cause
year, being towards the
yeah,
end of his career, finish
for
it
real.
out with about
But he
4 fights.
but he said Earl Spence, he was waiting around, so that kinda had him out the ring. But if he couldn't get the Canelo, next would be damn, who would I want to see fight next, man? Whoever got the belts, man. Whoever
That's
got
where
them
I'm at.
belts.
Yeah.
I wish Tim Zoo would have won that belt. That would have been a nice fight.
I
Tim Zoo
think
versus
I think
Crawford.
Tim still has an opportunity, and I think he should definitely be Fedora's mandatory. Let's say Fedora beats Spence, that happens, Spence doesn't beat him, but if Spence beats Fedora, then what the fuck, bro? We're setting up another Crawford
Oh
Spence fight.
man, we
That
setting
that
up a
is
rematch.
automatic, no
Nah,
questions
we
asked.
ain't got to.
Rematch,
We could go Tim
man.
Zoo versus Spence.
You can, but if Tim ain't got nothing to offer right now, then that fight don't make sense to anybody, right? Even though
It
I think Tim
depends.
Tszyu is an incredible fighter, but I think it's say Spence goes and beats Fedor, now he's got a belt. So maybe you keep him away long enough for them both to collect 2 belts apiece.
I don't want to see that shit
I
again. I
mean,
don't even think Earl
we
Spence
don't.
motivated
I mean,
enough
hold
right
on.
now,
Do
bro.
we? I don't know. I don't know. I want to see if that was. And we know it wasn't a goddamn fluke. I don't even want to say that. It wasn't a fluke. No, nowhere near a fluke. It was greatness by Crawford. But can Spence redeem himself in any way? Make it a better fight. That is what I wanna
No,
see. Can he make it a better fight at 154
no,
because he used the weight
no.
as an excuse, and you don't think at all it would
They
be.
been fighting the same way since he been boxing.
Here's the
It's his
question,
style. That style is
does it
bad for
sell?
Crawford.
Does it sell more than Tim Tszyu? Does it sell more than a Pandora fight? Ramirez? Which one of
It de-
those fights is gonna make the
it
most money
depend on
for
how he it
Crawford?
depend on how he come back. If he beat Fedor,
Say beef.
Fedor is not easy, bro.
No,
Dude is
I
not
think
about to be. I don't even think
I
that's an
I
easy fight
favor
for Terrence Crawford, bro. Like,
I favor Fedor
dude ain't
because, like I
easy.
said, if he learned how to fight like a big guy in that Tim Tszyu fight, then yeah, he's a problem for anybody. But if he wants to get inside and bang, he's gonna have trouble against Spence because that's what Spence is gonna want, and Crawford is gonna eat him alive if he tries to fight him inside. He's bet if he
But
can
he can
fight
fight
like a big, he's trouble
inside
for
though.
anybody.
He can
He
fight
can, but he can
inside.
also we've seen him get caught too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
We've seen him get caught,
them
and
uppercuts in the inside when he fight, if they ain't bringing that power, that's going like, yeah, the one he got, dude got power. What was his name? He got power.
Mendoza,
Yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Mendoza.
he hit
Yeah,
hard. But if, bro, bro, oh yeah, he got clipped by Lubin too. He got clipped by Lubin too.
yeah.
But
Didn't he
them
get the decision in
uppercuts
that fight?
though,
He got the
them
decision in that.
uppercuts be accurate when he fighting in the inside though. I don't know. I just got to see it, bro. Like, I want to know what Terrence Crawford gonna take away from him. Probably gonna take his height away from him and his reach.
I mean,
Cause
obviously,
dude's
I think
smart.
if you look at what Tszyu did in the first 3 rounds, exactly what he did. He took the jab away, took his and he just
Mm-hmm.
countered him. Every time he was
Mm-hmm.
coming in, he countered, pow, counter,
Mm-hmm.
pow, was setting him up. I think Tszyu would have beat him pretty handily, honestly, if he wouldn't have got that cut on him
Yeah,
like
that's
he
what
did.
my little brother been saying too. He been screaming that too. I went to
Right.
sleep. I couldn't. That Rolly
Pitbull
and
fight.
the boy. Yeah. After that,
Yeah.
I was through. I was tired though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a long one.
there's a lot of amazing fights down there for him. It got to get a little shaken up now. It got to get a little rattled up. Everybody got to like, come on, Terrence Crawford here. He about to pump this. He about to, cause it was dead.
Yeah,
154 was dead for real. When Charlo had the
yeah, it
belt, it
was.
was
I
like,
mean, Charlo
we
kind
like,
of
who the
split
fuck
off.
is
He just
these
had,
people? Now we got an insight on who Tim Tszyu is, who
yeah,
Fedor is. Even though I know
yep,
who Fedor was because he fought
yeah. Been
Javante Clark
watching it.
from there.
Yep,
Uh, it's like, okay, Earl Spence here now. Then you got Ortiz here now. Then you got other people too. So it's like, hey, it's shaking up. It shook up. It shook
yep.
up.
On to the next one here. Martin Bacoli defeated Jared Anderson in a fifth round KO. We are Ohio boys, so we weren't too happy about it.
I was hurt.
But you had some good questions about that one. The one that I like most, that I'm going to go ahead and lead with, that I like what you talked about. Who's next for Bacoli? Is he a contender at heavyweight, guys? I mean, I can he with what you saw, he had a lot of patience, right? A lot of patience and set up his shots really, really well. I don't know, man. I'd like to
That
see him
motherfucker.
put,
Hey, you was telling me, but
yeah. What
ooh,
just what I seen from him, I was like, man, he's a really patient guy with some power,
man, that
and he knows
motherfucker
how to
hit
set his
hard.
punches. Yeah, I think I'd like to see him against a Zhang or a Parker next.
They
One of
been
those guys.
saying Zane, he gonna destroy Parker. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think, yeah,
Parker too
because the
little,
way
bro.
Zhang landed
I
on
don't even
Parker,
think
yeah,
Parker bigger than Jared Anderson, bro. He gonna
yeah,
destroy Parker. I like Parker because I like, you know what I'm saying? I like him, but he too little, bro.
yeah.
Zane, they been talking about him and Zane. I think he destroyed Zane, to be honest.
Zhang, yeah, because if you watch him, he didn't seem to
Zang
get
easy
gas.
gas out too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zhang gassing out. This
yeah.
dude, Bacoli, he wasn't gassing out. He was patiently just doing
I
it.
thought he was. Look, and it was one time it seemed like Jared had him when he went to
Mhm.
his body. Remember, I'm like, oh, he got him. He so, but he came after that second round. He came back out like
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
For real. He was ready. That's a fact, man. He
What?
was
I'm
definitely
like, what
ready.
the fuck? I thought he had him. Like, oh, he figured him. He got him. Them body.
Yeah.
But we got to I got to see him. Ooh, bro, I think he'd be a threat to anybody for real, bro.
I think for
Now,
sure a threat to anybody, man. I'd like to see maybe him and Joshua. If Joshua
yeah,
defeats
now,
Dubai
yeah,
in September, that's a
yeah.
great fight to set up because
Ooh, dude,
know
a
that Fury
threat
Usyk
though.
fight
That
right
motherfucker
there.
hit hard. But
Yeah.
see, Joshua, he a vet. I feel like
Josh,
he'll be
yep.
able to handle it and use his boxing technique. But
Yeah. I think Joshua's faster and as big as he is, I think it would give him the
he
advantage in the
is he
fight.
bigger than
And against
Jared Anderson though?
oh yeah.
Joshua?
Yeah. Joshua's about 6'6", I think he is. 6'6",
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Yeah, he's
yeah,
smaller than Wilder, but he's bigger than most of the heavyweights. He's right around that 6'6" range. Uh, but yeah, he's got some power. That would be a hell of a fight for them to set up.
yeah. He got a
AJ
nice.
versus him.
He got a nice. I want to see him again though. Not next year. I want to see him like the end of this year. I want to see him. I want to see him. That's crazy.
Uh,
He done shook the heavyweight class up. I think to me.
well, he put
To
a new
me.
name in the ring. He put a new name
Yeah.
in.
He shook it
Hey,
up a little bit.
you
Yeah.
gotta watch this dude.
See
All
if
right, another
he
question
could
on
carry
the
that
Big
weight.
Spade corner. Go ahead, Big Spade, with this next question you got.
Where does Jared Anderson go from here after the loss to Morton? Is he still America's future heavyweight champ?
No, he is not America's future
Mm.
heavyweight champ. I will
What?
say it. Because he won't fix his flaw. He will not fix that flaw. And we
What's the
said that
flaw?
that
What's the
would
flaw?
be
What's the flaw?
the lean back, not the step back, because the
The
step back's
lean back. Oh
official.
my
The lean back.
God.
If you can't, we said that you would get caught every time by the bigger fighter
We
with
was
that lean
saying
back,
that.
and it leaves your chin wide open, your hands down, your chin open, up in the air. I mean, you're just asking to get knocked out. And if you weren't able to fix that after the Charles Martin fight, and then we watched him get caught again, and then this fight come along with a bigger guy like Charles Martin, and he's the same thing, man. And I don't know. I feel like he went stagnated on us. You know what I mean? Like he kind of like I don't know if he I don't want to say he didn't train for this fight as much as he could have. Maybe out of the ring distractions. You said he's got some baby mama dramas. He just had a child, all that kind of stuff. So maybe too many distractions out of the ring. But what I'm
Hmm.
seeing from Darren Anderson, I don't think America's going to have a heavyweight for a long, long time.
They
I don't
said,
see
they said also, not to cut you off, he he cut off his coach at the last minute.
Sugar Hill, the one that
No,
was, or
his
his
coach, he
his
been
coach.
with him since he was 8 years
Okay,
old.
yeah, okay, wow, wow. Because I knew he was training with Sugar Hill for this fight.
Yeah.
And that's Tyson Fury's trainer also. So I thought, man, that's a good fit. He's going to definitely show him that, hey, that lean back ain't working. He didn't fix that at all. Continue to do it. But
He
what
was
I also
going
saw,
under. He
man,
was trying to go
he was
under the
going under
punches
and
too.
getting
He should
caught with
have.
uppercuts.
He
But
should have. Him. Like when my girl was watching it too, she said it, and this was true. He got too flashy. Like, bro, you're not a welterweight, bro. You can't be. You can't fight as like you can do it on certain talent, but competition, you can't. Certain competition,
yeah,
bro, when they get better, you can't be doing all that slick shit. You should have fought a high guard, like keep
yeah,
your
yeah,
motherfucking hands up, man. I don't know, bro. Man, listen, I've been on boxing gyms and shit like that. That's the first thing they teach you. Keep that motherfucking hand
yeah,
up, bring that hand back. Like
yeah.
bring it back. Like
Bring that guard
these
right back.
dudes be,
Set it, bring it
yeah,
back. You know what I
these
mean?
guys
Keep
be
it up there.
dropping their hands, and I'd be like, it's cool. The Roy Jones shit is cool, but you ain't Roy Jones. You feel me? So it's
But
different. And then, like, I felt like he was leaning himself back, going back into the corner, backing himself
well,
into the corner,
not
and as
only
he
that,
leaning back.
man. Why was he going so why when he was going down, why was he just no guard, just going right into
Yeah,
punches? Just like,
that's what
"Hey,
I'm
uppercut me."
saying. You ain't.
And, like,
This
no
is not.
guard, and just going straight down into uppercuts, and it was like, "What the fuck is he doing right now?" Like, I mean, I don't and then maybe he couldn't figure the size out, and that's the thing about heavyweight, man, the difference. We
The
see these
weight.
guys at yeah, the weight and the size,
Yeah.
it's a big difference in these guys, man. It's hard to beat a guy that's, 3 or 4 inches taller than you and,
Why?
30, 40 pounds on you. You know what I mean? Why
Why?
them body shots ain't working. You know what I
And
mean? Like you want to
and I don't give a fuck. He was making that ring so
walking him
small
down.
for him.
Yeah. Control the whole just
He
even
should have,
cut the ring off. You know what
like
I mean?
I heard, like somebody said. I don't know if it was Sean Porter, but I was like, yeah, he should have smothered his punches. He should have tried to. He stayed on the outside where the impact of them punches you about to feel every last one of these. And then the
Yep.
dude uppercut was so more his uppercut was so on point, accurate. Like he was accurate. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't missing too many punches when he was throwing this shit. If you go back and watch, it was like, damn, bro,
Yeah.
damn. Get your
Yeah.
hands up, bro. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
He had some really nice hands, especially for a big guy. Just his patience, I think I was more impressed with. It was just
Man,
like he just knew.
he said, you don't think my boy gonna be a American heavyweight? He's still young,
No,
man.
man. I think, man, and it sucks because I want to see America needs a heavyweight. We
I
need
wonder what
a heavyweight champion. I
type
just
of
don't think it's
person
gonna be
he
Darren
is in the
Anderson.
gym. Like, is he the type that really soak up game? You could tell. Is he like a student or is he like arrogant? I don't know. I can't
Well,
say. I
I
ain't gonna
mean,
put it on him. I
but
don't
think
know him.
about this: when he ran in that car and he videotaped it, is he just reaching out? Is he
Huh?
trying to tell motherfuckers like, "Hey, like I need better guidance"?
What
Like,
happened?
you remember when he got them charges, right? He ran from the
Yeah.
police. He bought that new, I guess
Oh
it was
yeah,
like a
yeah,
new Charger, whatever. He
yeah,
souped up motherfucking car,
yeah.
and he put the camera. He actually put the camera on the outside before he went on this chase to videotape it, and he went on that chase. Like, is he crying out for help in that type of situation? Should we have paid more? We kind of brush that off as, he's young. People are going to
Uh,
do dumb things. But did we not look into that enough as boxing fans, as boxing his trainers, his the people around him to say, all right, man, what's really going on to make you want to sacrifice your whole career for something like that? to do something like that. Why would you want to sacrifice your career? What's really going on? I think a lot more deeper into Jared Anderson than what we might realize. And if he can ever get his head right, he might have that opportunity to be that next American heavyweight. And I'm not saying you can't bounce back from this loss. He can't, but he's got a lot to prove right now, and he's got a lot.
Yeah.
I think a lot more dedication he's got to put in the gym if he wants this to be his career. I mean, it's his choice in life. He could walk away right now, you know what I mean, and never box again, and that's his choice. But he's got to want it, in
Nah,
my
don't
opinion.
do that. Don't do that. We got too many people doing that from here right now. We not even from Cincinnati, just Ohio. Like we ain't. We got damn it. Well, we got a doula right now. So,
Yeah.
but but as
We got a
far as
couple
like
from the Natty, man. We got a couple from the Natty. Or not from just the Natty, but from
Ohio,
Ohio
yeah,
alone. You know, a couple guys out of Toledo, a couple guys out of Cleveland. Who was
uh,
that other guy just fought on the card not too long ago? I just saw a Cincinnati boy fight not long ago. Actually, I can't remember what the hell I watched him on Pro Box. Might have
who
been.
when we was both watching, he lost.
I think he did lose. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you talking
yeah.
about Lil Garnett?
Nah,
Okay.
he's the dude that wasn't he the dude to come back and got the win in that, wasn't he? Because he was
Oh,
losing the fight and he knocked dude out or some shit.
mm-hmm.
I had to go back and rewatch it. I think it was on Pro Box, man.
Mm,
But yeah, I remember saying Cincinnati, Ohio. But
mm.
yeah, moving on to the next one here, man. Another question from Big Spades Corner. Go ahead with it. Jose Valenzuela defeated Pitbull Cruz by split decision. Was it split decision or
Oh, his
was it?
name Jose.
Well, it's they call him two different names.
That's
Jose is
why I
what
was
he.
confused. Like, hold on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jose is
Rayo,
what they
yeah,
put him now, but I noticed everybody calling him Rayo
yeah, Rayo,
and
yeah,
commentary, and it kind of confused me. I'm like, hold on, man,
yeah.
who the
But
fuck
his
is
name
Rayo?
is Jose though. Dale, that
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah, like Jose
yeah,
Valenzuela.
Venezuela,
But
yeah.
he
That's
won.
why
He
I'm like,
beat
hold on, what the fuck?
Yeah, he beat Pitbull for that
Mm.
WBA super lightweight title, putting a hat in the ring for another guy, man. Here's your question here, actually, right here.
All right, is 140 too much for Pitbull? Should he move back down to 135?
What's your thoughts? What do you think?
140 is too big. I mean, too much, bro. Cause its height. Its height is like, if anything, try go back to 135. Squeeze yourself to 130. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
the 142. Like like it's too much, bro. Then you swinging for the heels. Like on taller fighters, they gonna see that shit coming a mile away. Like,
yeah.
uh,
Uh, I agree. 135, 130 fits in good. 140 was a stretch. I thought when we
yeah,
saw him against the one guy we just talked about, Rolly,
Rolly.
and his power wasn't knocking. I mean, he was landing clean shots on
Yeah,
Rolly,
he was
and it
knocking him
wasn't.
back.
I mean,
Yeah,
he would stumble on him, but he
yeah,
wasn't knocking him out. And I said, look, that right there shows his power hasn't transitioned to 140. Uh, the size didn't really register to me till that fight, but
yeah.
it was
That's
super impressive to see Jose
yeah,
Valenzuela do what he did because he started fighting him inside at the beginning of
yeah,
that fight. He was
yeah,
fighting Pitbull's fight, but then something clicked in this young man that said, "Hold on, man, keep that." He started throwing that jab, and every time he come in,
yeah,
pow, pow,
yeah.
pow, hitting him with that jab, and
And
then
he
it
was
just
landing
started
that
going.
up. He was landing that up too.
Yep, then he come in, pow, jab, upper, and it was beautiful to watch on his part because when you see a fighter adjust like that, because I've watched Jose Venezuela about 3 or 4 times. He fights
Yeah,
completely different in almost every
yeah.
fight.
That's what they've been
So
saying. He
so it
switched
kinda shows
trainers.
that
You know,
he
he
looks at
switched
who he's
trainers too.
fighting. Yeah,
Nah, he
yeah.
switched trainers.
Did he?
They
Okay, so
said
yeah.
they said that he was with David Benavidez' dad. I don't know if he's senior or whatever, but he
Okay.
was with and and they was more focusing on knockouts like power. But he's saying like the boxing style is his style for real. Like that's the style he
Pure
really want to
pure
fight.
boxing.
Like
Yeah,
boxing, like you know what I'm saying. So basically he was like that's his style. So he switched. David Benavidez there. He was there though. He was still in the corner, but he switched to Robert. Like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Robert
So
Garcia, he's a hell of a coach, man. I like
yeah,
Robert
nah,
Garcia.
he a good ass
He's
coach,
he's straight
bruh.
up real too. Like,
Hey, he a good ass
and
bruh. He don't get no recognition, but dude, a good ass coach.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he really
fuck with
is.
him. I
His
fuck with
his
him,
answer
man.
his answer that people always talk
It
about
seemed like
Floyd
he
Mayweather.
studied that shit. He studied. He studied
Man,
like
he is definitely a master of the sport. He has studied it, and he
yeah. He
knows
don't
the
get no
game really,
credit.
really
He don't
well.
get no credit for real, but
No,
he
because
be
he's just
doing his
quiet.
thing.
Because he wants his fighters to get that credit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like that. He stays in the back.
I like
Like
him
I
too, though. I like him. I be watching him when they do with Ellie Setback, be
yeah,
interviewing him and shit. I like him. Like
yeah.
he ain't no hate. He ain't no hater. He keep it a
Nah,
hundred. Like
no. They talk
I
about
fuck with
Floyd
brother.
Mayweather. His response to everybody that hates on Floyd, he said, "If you could fight like that, you would."
Yeah,
That's his answer. If you could fight like Floyd, you would. Who wouldn't? If you could
yeah,
fight like Floyd, everybody here would fight like Floyd.
yeah. I
That's the only
like
reason
brother.
I hate on him because you can't fight like him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I mean, I like what I seen, but I also like your next question that you got coming up because this is a good question, guys. This is a really good question. Hit him with this one. I like this one.
Who would you like to see Rayo fight next? Is he a threat in the 140 weight division?
I mean, we got some good talent at 140. We got Liam Paro just busted on the scene after beating Subaru Mateus. Subaru Mateus is still a threat because regardless of that, I think he just had a bad night. You got Teofimo Lopez in there. You got Devin Haney in there. I think all these guys would be a tough fight for Jose. Where do you put him at 140? Do we base everything off a 5'4" guy, or do we got to also think a guy with length? How's he going to fight against a guy like Teo? How's he going to fight a guy like Liam Paro? Guys with the same height, the same size as him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
how does he? We've seen he adjusts to each guy, and that's what I do. Like I think he's so much of a sleeper. Like no matter who he goes against, he's going to be the underdog, right?
Yeah, 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 yep, yep, yep,
Still
yep, yep.
underestimated. People are still questioning it. Even after we saw what he did against Pitbull, we're still going to question it. I think he's still got a little bit more to prove to us for us to say, okay, man, this dude, like, he's a real deal. I think he's a real deal, but where is he? Is he the next level? I don't I don't see the next level in him. You know what I'm saying? Like I do
Oh
with
no, I gotta see him again. I gotta see more. Like Pitbull was cool. You knocked him off, fucked his name up a little bit, knocked him off. But it's like you should have damn near knocked him off for real. And we said it like that might be an upset. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So
We called that on Bourbon and Boxing, man. That we thought that was definitely a 50-50 fight right there.
so he came with a different style though, from what I thought. But
Yeah.
man, I him and Devin Haney, that'd be a good fight.
I would put him up against a Regis Prograis next. For him,
Regis just took a
realistically,
loss though. He gotta come out tremendous to
I think he's got some kind of fight coming up. Regis,
nah I do. I think he do.
Jack Catterall actually is who I
Yeah.
think is fighting Jack Catterall, which that's a tough fight, bro. That's a real tough fight. I like that one. Jack Catterall, kind of a sleeper at 140, and I left his name out of it, but Jack Catterall is definitely a guy at 140 that's going to be tough for anybody, man. Little dude out of Britain. He's a tough little fight for anybody. Also
I
at
think I
140, we
heard
forgot
his
about him
name
against
or somebody.
well, him and Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor fought twice. Remember, he beat Josh Taylor in the first fight, but they robbed him. It's when Josh Taylor was unified at 140, and Catterall beat him, and then they gave it to Taylor,
Or what
and then they
about
had a
what
fight where
about the
he
guy that
destroyed.
fought Gary Antoine Russell?
Uh, we're forgetting the guy. I know
I can't
who
think
was
of
the guy that fought Gary Antoine. What was his name again?
I don't know.
I know who you're
But he
talking
was
about because he
nice.
is definitely
He
he
was
was nice.
nice.
Another guy I'm leaving out is Norman Jr. Also at
Nah, he won
140.
47.
Is he 147?
Yeah, because he talking
Oh
about he
man,
wanted to
Ryan
fight
Booth fighting him.
he wanted to fight
Teo at 147, right?
nah, he wanted to fight Boots.
Boots. I'd like him against Boots, but I thought him and Teo were supposed to fight, and I guess they said Teo turned it down.
Oh, I don't know.
So
I don't know about that, but I just know what he was saying when I was listening to him talk. He was like him and Boots. Yeah, you talking about from Atlanta, Georgia? That.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't think of his first name, but I know it's Norman Jr.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's a pretty good fighter. All right. What was the biggest? What was the bigger upset, guys? Bacoli over Anderson or Rayo over Pitbull? What's your thoughts, my guy? What was the bigger upset that we saw?
But Coley over Anderson. My heart was crushed, bro.
Yeah, I was holding it in. You know what I mean? I was like,
You fucked me up, man. I damn near. I felt like that was when felt like a AB damn near when he first lost
yeah,
type shit.
yeah.
That was that type of shit. Like damn, bruh. That was that. Like
Mhm.
that was that,
I
bruh.
feel
That
you.
was that. That was that.
So for us personally, I agree the Anderson fight because it closer to home. I kind of thought Venezuela was going to beat Pitbull, so I wasn't really
Yeah, I was
surprised when it
50-50 on
happened.
that.
Yeah, so I won, but I told you about Piccoli too. I said
Nah,
this
you
was
told me, but
a
I just
dangerous
wasn't.
fight.
I ain't never seen.
Yeah, I
And the
did say that.
heavyweights, the last heavyweight you told me about.
Yeah, and to mention that that was Hergovic. We could not figure out the name, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Who was it?" And I remember I've been hyping Hergovic up,
Yeah.
and this motherfucker come out and laid an egg and lost to the bias. And I was like, "Motherfucker, man!" Like I was sold on this dude, but yeah, he laid an egg. But
Yeah.
Bacoli, I was like, "Man, this is a dangerous fight for Anderson." But I thought this is really a chance for Anderson to show something. You know what I
Damn,
mean?
man.
Let us know where you at. So, but yeah, I agree. It was
Did you
definitely
think they put
it
too
home.
much on him too early? Cause everybody else they ain't moving like that.
Well, I think he wanted to move like that because Top Rank ain't gonna move nobody like that. If Top Rank would have had, my question is, what did they get paid to let Jared Anderson take this fight on the Matchroom card? Because they got paid. They paid Top
Yeah,
Rank
you told
money
me.
for
Yeah.
Jared to be on there.
Yeah.
What did they get paid? Because I think Jared got paid like 600,000 or something like that for the fight. Uh, because they just released the numbers on what everybody
He
kind of got.
wasn't motivated though, man. I ain't see like I ain't I ain't
That all
like
comes back to
I ain't
the
see
life
that.
situation, man. Like
I ain't see
right
that
right
Jared I'm
now,
used
like
to the I ain't see that I ain't see it, bro. I ain't see that like for sure, like for certain I'm about to beat your ass. Like
yeah,
I
he
ain't see
didn't seem to
that
have that killer
confidence,
instinct,
bro.
that
Yeah,
confidence.
even when
Yeah,
he
yeah,
walked out, like I just when he walked out, I said it like, bro, I don't
yeah,
know, bro. I just ain't see like he was worried. Like I got that like he was worried. Like I don't
yeah.
know, like damn, like this it or this it right here. Like it ain't over for my boy though, man. I
I
don't
think
think
he's
it's over.
gotta he just gotta show that dedication, man. Get in the gym. One loss
One
doesn't
loss
ruin your
don't
career.
determine shit,
It does
man.
not
It's
make your
boxing.
career. You can bounce back.
All these
Uh,
motherfuckers need to lose.
but we talk about size in the heavyweight, and it seems like in today's era, outside of Usyk, I mean, Usyk kind of defies that. You know, he's around the same size as Anderson, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". So
Yeah,
he kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
defies that, but he's a more patient, nice ring IQ type of boxer. Like he's got them hands and he's got great
Uh,
ring IQ too. Uh, Jared just needs to go back, man. I think he does lack a little ring IQ. When you sit down
nah,
and watch,
yeah,
he
hell
continues to
yeah.
make the same mistakes.
Yeah, he
Uh,
gotta get his IQ up.
Dropping your hands down like that, ducking under with no
Yeah.
guard, and just setting yourself up to get uppercutted. Like just not what you would have wanted to see from a guy who's what almost 20 fights in right now. So you know, what I mean, I don't know if he's quite what maybe he might not be 20 fights in, but you know, what I mean. All right, we saw the Ruiz versus Miller was a draw. Do you agree with that decision, or did Miller get robbed in that fight? It wasn't that much the most exciting fight, but I think he got
I
robbed.
got
And
two
I'm not a
ways.
Miller fan. I'm not a Miller
I
fan.
said a draw. It could be a draw, but he got robbed. At them in
Yeah.
them last rounds, Andy wasn't doing shit. Like
Uh,
he wasn't doing enough. Even though his hand was fucked up.
yeah,
But
Andy was gassed mid round.
I think he lost his step though, bro. He ain't the
Yeah.
same.
Well, 2 years out of the ring, man. You can at that point in your
Couldn't be
career,
doing that though, bro.
he's not 20 years old. You can't take 2 years off at any point in your career, especially when you're
Yeah, he
older.
can't do that, bro. He
You can't
can't
do
do
that.
that.
You just can't. You got to find a way to stay active. And I know he was dropped by PBC and all the promoting, and he couldn't find anybody signing. But man, just like here, you could have signed on independently. He could have fought Deontay Wilder long ago, over a year ago, but he outpriced himself on that. He wanted $10 million for that fight, and they're like, bro, like you're not getting $10 million for it.
You
So he
know what I
outpriced.
noticed though, as like, I don't want to say older, but prime, like when you hit your prime in boxing, and it seemed like them 2 year layoffs and shit like that, you don't be the same. Like, cause
No,
your body be so used to working and working and
yeah,
working, which was gonna keep you young. So that
yeah,
2 years is like I'm resting. Your body ain't doing nothing but getting older and a lot and
yeah,
healing up, and ain't the muscle. Like muscle got memory, but that
yeah.
memory don't always come back the same. Like,
No,
you know what I'm
and
saying? You might
aging
lose
comes
a
like
little.
that, bro.
Yeah,
Aging comes like that. Like you'll
hell
know
yeah.
it'd be over motherfucking night. A
Uh,
year from 33 to 34, and you be like,
yeah,
what the fuck happened?
yeah,
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It is a real fucking thing, and that's why I'm impressed with what LeBron James does. Almost
Cause
30
he
years old.
stay
This motherfucker.
active. He stay
I mean,
active.
but you know as well as I know,
That motherfucker
Father
playing in the
John has
Olympics right
shot
now.
up to every motherfucking body, but LeBron James.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
crazy.
but LeBron. That motherfucker, he's built different. Like that's just like
You
he's the
know what
exception.
though?
And
Like
I mean,
Terrence Crawford
we
said,
say it, but then we might see it down the road, like next year. The NBA, he may not. You know, what I mean, that's how fast it happens. But I don't see that happen with LeBron.
man,
But what
he
was you
you
saying?
see,
Oh,
he hooping in the Olympics. So he got two sons that's young, that's keeping his body young, moving around. He might not be as
yeah,
the old LeBron, but he's still better than most of these motherfuckers, and
99.9% of the fucking
jumping
league. Yeah,
up and everything. Like I
yeah.
take him on my team any
Oh,
day,
fuck yeah. Anybody, any
right
team would.
now.
Any team
Yeah.
would. Right now, they would get rid of half their squad for him.
So
About
so
every NBA.
right. And that comes to the point that he stays active. He's
Yeah.
playing, he's not who you know about to be 40 years old, gonna be like, shit, I'm about to go to the Olympics and play with no motherfucker gonna be sitting out the Olympics. Nah,
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
have
yeah.
it. These
Letting the
young
young
boys
bucks
can't
get
have it.
that in.
Yeah.
Taking the summer
Yeah.
off, relaxing
Come
after
on,
you just
man.
played a full season of basketball.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, I mean, in boxing, it's a little different. I mean, Terrence Crawford is what, 36 now? He just turned
About to be
36,
37. About to
about to
be
be 37.
37.
So, I mean, boxing is one of those sports, man. I think if Terrence continues to fight once a year, he's only got about 2 fights in it because it's just going to get to the point where it's like he's not going to want to risk that. If he can get 2 fights for the next 2 years, and I think that's
Yeah.
all we get from him, man. It's just different when you're getting your body beat on too.
Yeah.
Then I know it's a lot
Now
of
I
damage
think he
to the
need to stay
knees and
active
legs and
right now.
stuff.
I think he need to stay
Yeah,
active right now. Like, don't wait no whole year to fight again. Like, fight in like 6 months, if anything. But I
I
got a
think
question, bro. I got
go
a
go ahead,
question,
go ahead,
bro.
go ahead.
He looked at like a younger fighter to me that's fighting right now. I want to know if you can name this fighter that, and this fighter said something about it, and I'm like, nah. But he kind of reminded. They looked at similar, bro.
Mm. You're not thinking Abdullah Mason. I'm thinking he
Mm-mm,
looks a little bit like Boots in
mm-mm.
there. No, you
He
don't think it
looking
was
like
Boots? I thought
Keyshawn Davis, bro.
Keyshawn Davis. I'd have to,
Go
like I said, it was
go
so
back and
late. I
watch
had to rewatch
Keyshawn
that,
fight
man. Like I
and
was so
watch,
tired watching that I was disappointed that I wasn't able to focus like I wanted to, man. I was ready, like I
bruh.
was ready for
And
this to be
Keyshawn
over.
said they kind of similar. He like like, and when he was saying that, I'm like, nah. But when I watched that fight, it could have been this fight. I'm like, bruh, they kind of looked it alike on this
Yeah.
on this fight, and then him not knocking him out, knocking dude out, made it even more like, damn, he did. They
Now
did
I
this
got a
look
theory
alike,
behind
man.
that. I got a theory behind that. Crawford's not used to 154 yet.
Right.
This was his this was his getting used to fight. After this, I don't think anybody stands a chance against him. Oh my God, we lost my guy. Babe, what happened? He back, he back.
I
But
don't know
like I
what
said,
happened right there.
it just
I'm like,
went out.
oh yeah,
But I think after this, fight. He's going to be a lot more comfortable at 154. He's going to be more comfortable, especially with the weight. He's going to
Yeah.
pack on the weight more, become more natural, and you're going to see that power and the Crawford that we know as far as like stopping people. And that's not. I mean, Madrimov is a lot tougher than what people want to give credit for. The fact
Yeah.
that he went 12 with Terrence Crawford, that says a lot about him and alone. And he was just
He
hard
didn't
to
want to
figure
get
out, man.
stopped though. He
He
ain't
was
want
a
to get.
stringy.
He ain't
He was
want to
that.
engage. They
He was
said he
that
don't even
money.
fight like that. They said
No,
he
no,
ain't
he's
want
an
to
aggressive
engage.
fighter. He throws haymakers. Like he wasn't doing that because he knew that
He
if he
gave
went
too much
in that
respect.
style, he was going to get caught. He knew he couldn't go out there and just launch a haymaker on Crawford doing this. You're going to get fucking caught and knocked
Right.
out. Like he knew that. He knew that he couldn't do that against a guy like Crawford. That was
He
just
was fighting to
not going to do that.
survive,
That's
man.
stupid.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, yeah.
he
Go
he
12
was
rounds. You say he went 12 rounds with the best in boxing, pound for pound, number one. I mean, I think that does a lot for him in his career because now
mm,
you can put him up against a Virgil Ortiz, and that's a good fight. A Tim Tszyu, and that's a good fight. You can put him up against a Spence, and people are going to want to watch it because of what they saw against
yeah,
Crawford, or what they
yeah,
think, or what people told them they saw against Crawford. Because as well as I know, Crawford dominated that fight. He wanted easily.
yeah.
Canelo's little bitch ass said Madrimov won that fight. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking hater. Like, what is this hate towards Crawford now?
Hey,
He will duck and dodge anybody he thinks is a threat to him. You know what I
hey,
mean?
guess what
Like,
Crawford said? He said I went up in weight and won my fight. He went up in
yeah,
weight and lost his fight. Come
yeah.
on now, Canelo.
Well, and then that kills me to hear Canelo sit there and say, him coming up, I don't like fighters that go back and forth and wait. Hold on, motherfucker. Haven't you done the same goddamn thing? You went
Who
from
are
168
you
to
though?
175. 2 times he did that. He beat Badu Jack the first time he did it, and
They
then he
gave
lost to
dude too
Bivol the
much
second time.
respect, man. They gave him too
I,
much. They gave
well,
him
I
too
think,
much fire.
yeah, yeah. Here's my thing. Like when we started on the outside of this, when people see this, they're gonna see Terrence Crawford with a crown on his head, because here in America, Terrence Crawford is the pound for pound motherfucking king. He is our king of boxing.
Right.
Mexico, y'all can keep motherfucking Canelo Alvarez. That's y'all's king. When he wants to step up to the plate and fight our king, bring it on, motherfuckers. We got Terrence Crawford. Y'all got Canelo. Fuck out of
Yeah,
here with that.
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
got who we know our king of boxing is right now. But
yeah. They tripping.
yeah. Other notable wins: David Morrell and Andy Cruz both won their fights on that card. David Morrell kind of looked, 175 kind of looked like just like David Benavidez, like some adjusting. Took him a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, I think he eventually got dude out of there, or no, he won by decision. But yeah, dude gave him a little bit of trouble, more than what you would expect him to see, and he was landing some good heavy punches on him too. But Andy Cruz looked really good, knocking his guy out in the 7th round.
Yeah.
So Andy Cruz might
Eddie
be
Cruz
another
looking
guy at
good.
135, another guy to add into that mix at 135. Him and Keyshawn, what I mean, great matchup for our boy Abdullah Mason. I don't think anybody fucking with Abdullah Mason. I'm telling y'all right now,
Nobody
Abdullah
fucking with
is
the
the
dude.
future at 135. He's the future at
Ain't
135. I don't
nobody
think.
fucking with a dude.
No.
Him and Keyshawn gonna be that. That's gonna be that one.
Yeah,
That's
that's
gonna
gonna
be
be
that.
that future
That's gonna be a
135 super
technical.
matchup.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be a super duper. Ooh wee. That's gonna be that one.
yeah.
That's gonna be the one.
I agree with you on that 100%. That was our noticeable room. And then we're gonna move on to some boxing news and rumors. Of course, we're gonna start with some rumors. Rumors that, and we've been talking about him for the last 5 or 10 minutes. Keyshawn Davis
Mhm.
is talking about fighting Lucas Prince Bahati in the works. Be a good little fight for him. Bahati came back in his last fight, won it after getting knocked down. Looked pretty tough. Be a good fight for Keyshawn, but I think Keyshawn wins it easily
Who
in
is
that
that?
rumor fight. Who did he just recently fought, man? I'm trying to remember who he fought. He got knocked down in the fight. Looked like he was going to lose, and he came back and he won the fight. I don't know much about him besides that fight. That's the only time I saw the
I
guy, and I'm
know,
trying to
yeah, because
remember who he
Keyshawn
won.
brother be fighting at home.
Yeah,
So that's who he
so
fighting, bro. Let Keyshawn fight for
so
that other
it's
belt,
rumors.
man.
It's rumors,
Yeah.
and there's no like no contract, no talks that I've heard. I just heard
I
rumors
hope not. Let
of the
Keyshawn
fight
get
they
that
might
other
want.
belt, man. Let him fight
Who
the
do
dude that
you
got
think they
that belt over there.
put him up against the IBF champion? That one
Whoever
guy that won
dude beat Zepeda, let him
yeah,
get that. Let him get that
or the
belt,
guy
man.
that beat Navarrete. The guy that beat Navarrete.
Yeah,
I
my
think that's
bad.
who they should
Yeah,
put him
yeah,
up
yeah.
against.
My bad. My
Hey,
bad. I'm
hey,
tripping.
what about I didn't put it on our list of topics here, but what about Shakur and Loma going at it during the Crawford event? What'd you think about
Man,
that? Yeah, they
I'm
went at it.
tired of all that shit, bro. That shit ain't gonna. That
Loma
shit ain't
said,
gonna
"Let's
get
go
y'all in
fight
the
in the ring
ring.
right now." Loma said, "Let's go fight right now in the ring."
Man,
Keyshawn
Loma
said, "Let's
Purpin,
go,
you don't even
motherfucker."
want to fight Tank right now. Shut up.
No, I've heard, and what pisses me off about that is I heard this motherfucker is saying that he wants to fight Devin Haney again. And I'm like, come on, bro. You just said you weren't motivated to fight Tank. That's the biggest fight of your fucking career, and you're not motivated. You want to go fight Devin Haney? Like, come on, man. Like, that's a duck if I ever seen a duck. Like, quack like a duck,
He
walk like a
said
duck.
that
It's
out
a
his mouth,
motherfucking
though.
duck.
Did he say that out
You
his mouth?
Not, I didn't hear him. I heard that's what he is saying, that he was more
Yeah, I
motivated to
gotta
fight
hear.
Devin Haney than
I
he
gotta
was
show
Tank.
him some respect and hear him say it.
Yeah,
Now, if I
because
hear
to
him say that
me,
shit,
what do you think's a bigger money fight for him? You think Devin Haney's a bigger money fight,
stop
or
it.
do you think
Devin Haney got it. Devin, listen. I don't care if Ryan Garcia cheated, whatever that case must be. Devin Haney got to come back and prove himself. Even though that man cheated, that like we say,
would
bro, and
would Loma
nobody
be
gonna
that fight?
forget what happened to you.
Yeah. Would Loma be that fight, or does he need to fight another guy at 140?
Nah, he don't need to fight Loma no more.
No, he needs to stay
That
at
don't even make
140.
sense. Where Loma
No,
gonna come
it
up to
really won't.
140? Because Devin
No,
ain't going down
he's
to
not.
135.
Lo- Loma should be a 130 fighter. Loma's one of them guys I feel like, just like Pitbull, he's moved up one too many weight, and his body just ain't meant for that. That's why I
Yeah,
thought him and Tank would be a great fight, because they're both more natural 130 fighters. So
yeah,
they're both going to come in right at that weight,
yeah.
probably under 133, 134. But I've always said Loma should go back down to 130. If you put Loma on 130, you put Pitbull on 130 with Roach and Foster and Navarrete,
Zepeda.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I keep saying
yeah, that's a
Navarrete.
nice
I keep saying
motherfucking division.
Zepeda. I don't know why the fuck
Yeah,
I
yeah,
keep.
Navarrete, that's a nice little division, man. Would be, but yeah, rumors on that, man. Of course, we have our fight schedule this week coming up. You're gonna get to see Virgil Ortiz back in the ring, guys, doing his thing this weekend, man. We'll talk a little bit more about him towards the end of the show, what we think about that fight, who he's going up against, his third fight at 154. But let's get into this Canelo versus Berlanga. Uh, had an interesting presser, kind of interesting. Berlanga's fucking lame, man. Uh, he tries to play this tough guy, and it just
Nah,
and
don't do him
he
like that. Don't do him like that,
dude,
man. He
I
said he
gotta
got
do
too
him like
many
he just
names. Man. Don't do him
he
like that.
nah, I gotta do him like that. He's lame with it. Like, he can't even talk shit and make you think he's tough. Like, I'm sorry, he just can't. Like, this fight here is it's just a weak fight for Canelo. It's weak on Canelo's part, man. You had some interesting questions on that. Is this a statement fight for Canelo? Do you see Berlanga upsetting Canelo? Hell no. This dude won't last 5 fucking rounds with Canelo. I've seen Berlanga since the beginning of his career
Yeah,
with Top, since this guy has stepped into the ring. And Top Rank overhyped him as much as they could until he kind of took that L to that guy, that veteran fighter, where he bit him in the ear and so he got disqualified, I think. Got suspended from fighting in New York.
yeah,
And then I, and then since he's been with Matchroom, he hasn't fought anybody even in the top 10 of the 168. If you really want me to think Berlanga's a real deal, why didn't he fight Jaime McGill? Why didn't he fight Caleb Plant? Why didn't he fight Morrell?
yeah.
Why didn't he fight David Benavidez? Why didn't he fight any of these guys? You're putting him up against Saint Nick Paddyburger out of Ireland, that, I mean, some old veteran fighter. That was his toughest fight. Like, come on, man. There's nothing that can tell me that he's going to go in here and be even a. I don't think he's on a Jaime McGill level. So what do you think Canelo's going to even do to this guy? What's your
Uh,
thoughts? Just, or do we even
I think it's too.
entertain
I'm just
this?
gonna say this. I think it's too early for him, and I might entertain it because he talking shit. Now I've seen talking shit. It's kind of like, well, let me see what you gonna do. But if you take this L, where he go from here?
He goes under because he talks so much shit. Honestly, man, he's talking a lot of
You
shit to
think it's
Caleb
you
Plant.
think you think it's for the money?
It's obviously for the money for Berlanga. I mean, because he has. They say this is like when you're in a situation like Berlanga, it's a no. It's like you can't lose, right? That's what they say, right? You can't lose. Even if you lose, you got to fight the best fighter at 168. You got your name out there a little bit more, so it's kind of a win-win for him. But I think it's going to be make like he's not a very light fighter as it is. The Puerto Ricans don't even claim him. Like I swear on my life, Puerto Ricans don't claim this dude. He's Puerto
They
Rican.
said he
Where,
got a lot of hate, man.
yeah, he
I don't
doesn't.
wanna hop on
Yeah,
that hate train, man.
I don't hate the guy, but he hasn't done shit to deserve this fucking fight, bro. That's my hate towards him. And it's not towards him. It's not his fault that he won. He hasn't like, but
It ain't what you
for
wanna
him to
see.
stand up there
It
and
ain't what you
pretend he
wanna see.
deserves it. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think the issue too is he acts like he deserves a fight. And it's like, name one motherfucking dude you
Nah.
fought.
He
Name
n-
one fucking guy who's been any good that you fought in your whole fucking career. Not one dude he's fought that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Not one. Not one.
I got a question. So say you Berlanga, right? And this I'm saying from you, think like you though. And Canelo sent you a contract, but you know like you really ain't been tested yet. Would you be man enough to turn it down? Like, man, nah, I ain't ready yet. Or would you be like, fuck it, I'm gonna let my nuts hang. I'm gonna fight Canelo.
I mean, every boxer's confident in themselves.
Yeah, but you
Not
gotta be
always
real with
not
yourself
always
too.
realistic, but they're confident. Every boxer thinks, hey, if you send me
Yeah,
that contract, I'm gonna sign it. And what boxer wouldn't sign it? But at the same time, let's say if it was my kid, for instance, right?
yeah, we could use
Berlanga
that.
was my son. I know what you've done in the ring. I know who you have fought. You fought not one person on Canelo's level. I would say no to that fight.
Hold
I
on, hold
would
on, hold on,
tell
hold on.
him,
Let
I
me
would
throw
tell him, like, you got other fights, like, you lose this, then everybody's gonna say they're right about who you were.
all right, well let me throw a ranch in there though. This your son, but this might change our family. This life changing money right here. This fight. And if you knock him off, and if your son just happened, just deeply down, beat him, where
Here's
we
my
go from
thing.
there?
Now, you're always supposed to have confidence in your son, but
Hell
you
yeah,
gotta
you got to.
realism's gotta stay there too. You gotta be realistic too. You gotta also be like, all right, man, we
I
gotta weigh
think
all options. To me,
I think
I don't think Berlanga's getting any more than $1 million for this fight.
what?
Bet on my life. He's never had $1 million payday because he's never deserved $1 million payday.
Shit, he got all that jewelry and shit
I
on.
can guarantee, yeah, they say that shit like somebody was calling him out about that shit being fake. You know what I mean? Like that this dude, like he got clowned the last few fights big time. But to me, let's see. I went off topic there a little bit, but what was we saying? Should he take the fight? Should he take in the fight?
If it was life changing money for y'all
To
family,
me, a
that
$1 million wouldn't be life changing money because after he pays
if
taxes,
he
but
getting a million,
maybe
if he
hundreds
getting
of
a
$1,000s would be like. I ain't gonna say that. If I got a contract to fight
if
for a
he
hundred
only getting
thousand
a
dollars,
million
that's
dollars,
life
bro, it
changing money
definitely
for
ain't
me. You
worth
know
it,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
It
Yeah,
ain't
but
worth
I'm
it.
telling
Build
you
your
now,
craft,
he's only
bro.
getting $1 million. I bet you if you look
Nah.
at that contract, he ain't getting no more than $1 million for that fight, dude. Because
Yeah,
Canelo, it knows the level this dude is. And he knows that he can go to Berlanga and say, I'll give you $1 million to fight me. He ain't never had $1 million payday. He's gonna take that. One, the name Canelo might if let's say you beat
that
him.
money
Say
funny.
you beat him. Let's just
That's
say it
crazy.
happened. Just something you shocked the whole world. You beat this guy. You're gonna make way more than $1 million after that. So you take that million and you say, all right, we're gonna take this million, and if we beat this dude, we're gonna make tens of millions of dollars.
That
We're gonna be the
motherfucker
next
gonna
dude on
head
the
to
team.
corruption as we beat Canelo.
Right, you gonna see this motherfucker. You'll hate this motherfucker. Like,
Hey,
he already confident and cocky
hey,
as
when he
it
was
is.
talking
But
that shit to Caleb Plant, though, I'm like, man, Caleb Plant, bro.
hey, man, Caleb get all that shit for that
Caleb
Canelo
Plant ain't
fight.
no hoe, though. He ain't going for none of that
Hell
shit.
no. Hell no.
He
Hell
ain't
no.
going for none of
Canelo,
that shit.
nah, Canelo, he gonna fuck around and get, Caleb gonna give him a 2-piece before he even get to the fucking fight. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? 'Cause he keep
Caleb Plant
talking a
ain't
lot of
going.
shit to him. Yeah, and we already know Caleb, I mean, we saw him smack Charlo, and
Yeah.
Charlo and him got a fight. I don't know how that fight ain't already made. You smack
But
me, we
Charlo
fighting.
ain't, he ain't,
He
he ain't
ain't in the right
right.
state of mind.
Yeah,
What
he
about the
ain't.
younger Charlo brother? We talked
He
about that
supposed to be coming
154
back.
division. Yeah, you add him to the 154 mix. Think about
Nah,
that,
he coming back 154.
bruh. 154 with everybody that's already there, and you add Charlo to it. That's the by far the best division in boxing.
That'd be a good
By far.
fight. Come back fight for him and who turned Crawford.
Ooh,
What's it? That'd be
Crawford. They got that
nah.
beef
I
too.
don't
They
want him.
got that
He
beef.
gotta get a belt. He gotta get a belt. We
He's
ain't
a
sitting.
champion
We ain't
recess, right? So if he comes back, he's got the right to any belt. He held all of them. He is
right,
a champion recess for every one of those belts. So
right.
if he comes back, he can demand to be mandatory for Terrence Crawford or Fedora,
We
after
don't want
Spence
to see
fight.
that though. You just took a knee. You just laid down for real. You gotta we gotta see what level you on. We ain't wasting time. We ain't got no
I
time to
mean, seeing
waste.
him at 154, I like him at
Yeah,
154,
but we
man.
saying that's cool, but we gotta see like we ain't got time to waste, bro. You gotta
No,
we not giving these boys no, oh yeah, you coming back and what the people want to see. Nah, we here for greatness now.
yeah,
We here to show greatness now. Like, so
yeah,
if
I
you
agree.
willing to go do something, then come holler at me. Yeah, I'll make that fight happen. So we could build it up. It could be some money into it, but it ain't gonna be no money into him just coming straight back to fight Terrence Crawford. And we ain't looking for that. We ain't looking
Yeah.
for that.
It's another question my guy Big Spade had for us, man. What would a win do for Canelo? What would an upset do for Canelo? I don't see him getting upset. I just don't see it.
Man, you gotta
A
answer the
win,
question, man. We
a
know.
win, a win does nothing because he's fighting a, a, a cherry pick. It does
Okay.
nothing for him. No one will take this win and be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't think Canelo was going to win." No. Everybody knows he should win. This is a cherry pick fight. You have cherry picked your next opponent, your last opponent, your opponent before that. You are officially a professional cherry picker at this point. All right. So it does nothing for him. A loss would be devastating in a way. Devastating. You lose to this dude, it's devastating because you talk all
What if
that shit about Benavidez and you skip Benavidez and you don't want to fight Benavidez. So if you lose to fucking Berlanga, just go
what if
hang it the fuck up because
what
Benavidez
if
will
an
destroy
Andy
you.
Ruiz and the Anthony Joshua situation happen? Ooh wee.
I'm telling you, I'm saying he would have to come back, even if he came back and redeemed himself. What are we seeing? We're seeing that David Benavidez would whoop that ass. That's all we would see. If Berlanga handles him, David Benavidez would whoop that ass. And he knows it. He kind of said David Benavidez was too much of a threat. And that's why he wants 200 million to fight him because he's a threat. So he acknowledges how good David is and how much of a threat David is. But how weak is that to acknowledge it, but you won't take the fight? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's weird to me. So I don't know. That's a good question. He wins, it does nothing. If he lose, you know what I mean? It's devastating because you
If he
can't
lose,
lose
it
to
was the
fucking Berlanga.
steroids the whole time.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I did these steroids. Do you see Berlanga upsetting Canelo and his style good enough to cause threat for the Canelo? No. I've seen Canelo. I've seen this guy, uh, Berlanga. He's nothing he's gonna do. Like I said, Jaime McGee is a better boxer than he is.
What
And
he
Jaime,
I seen him like twice, but the last one I seen, I ain't really like that fight either. That was like
Nothing.
Uh,
He's not impressive. He's not knocking dudes out anymore. He was that dude. I think the first like 14 fights, 15 fights, he
he
was
gonna
knocking
hop on
everybody
your
out.
ass. Hey Jeff, he gonna hop on
Man,
your ass, bro.
bring that
Cause I was
motherfucker
listening
on,
to his
on
interview.
Melania.
Hey, look, I was listening to his interview. This the same shit he was talking about people being said, and you
Because
said
it's all
everything.
true. But when it's true, it's motherfucking. We all I'm doing is speaking 100 motherfucking percent facts.
Hey,
It for Lenga, if you
hey,
can prove me wrong on any of it, come get that smoke, my
hey,
guy.
hey,
Because you can't prove none of it wrong. Name one top 10 guy you fought in your whole
I
motherfucking
don't like
career.
how he
Name
talk.
a
He
top
talk
20
crazy,
guy.
Jeff. He
Top 20
talk
guy this
crazy.
dude fought. Nothing. You have not earned this fight, man. There's been a lot of dudes that, Caleb Plant, he earned that fight. I would even say that Boo Boo Andre has earned that fight. Jaime Magia earned that fight. In a way, I'll take that back. I still don't think Jaime earned the fight. But he did fight, dude that he's fighting actually, he'll be fighting Christian McBilly next week. What the hell is his name?
Who the
Dervinchenko.
fuck is Caleb Plant fighting? Who is dude?
He's got I don't know who the fuck that dude is. I have no clue who that guy is, man. None at all. I I don't even know who, but he's confident. I know that. He said he's gonna take Caleb to the wood shop.
I guess this what is this a tuna fight for Caleb or something?
It was supposed to be the main card by itself, but then they put it onto this Canelo card instead.
Yeah, because
'Cause I
that
think
shit wasn't
Canelo,
gonna do nothing.
well, Canelo likes Plant.
Yeah,
Like the weird thing, man, you watch that fucking fight in the middle of them fighting. Canelo asked him, he said, "You like my style?" He said, "I like your style." And in the middle of these motherfuckers fighting, they're talking to each other in the ring about their style and complimenting each other. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? That was too friendly. He suckered Kayla in. He got too friendly with it.
yeah.
But all right, this card this week, man, we're gonna wrap this up for you guys. Been quite a long show. My boy Spade been working all day. He probably tired. But Virgil Ortiz is back in the ring Saturday for his third fight at 154. He'll face Cyril Boachuk at on the zone this weekend, man. That'll be a good little challenge for him. I think this Boachuk guy is a guy that just fought Madra, the dude that just fought fucking Canelo. Madrimov. He fought him. So this should be a good little fight for him. A little bit of a challenge. I gotta see Virgil go more than 2 or 3 rounds though, man. I mean, because if not, is he that bad? Is he that bad of a motherfucker? And if he takes this dude out in 3 or 4 rounds or 5 rounds, are we looking at a guy that could challenge Terrence Crawford?
They said this fight is made for him though. Dude just
At the
stand right there
style?
in front of him. So
Oh fuck.
yeah,
He'll
so
yeah, that is made, but man, I gotta see him challenge because he looks so good against that. I mean, he makes it look so easy that you're like, he hasn't really fought somebody with challenging. At the
mm.
147, I think Stan Onis would have challenged him at 147 if they would have ever got that fight taken care of, but we never got to see it. That would have been his biggest challenge. He's just made everybody at 154 his last 2 fights look easy. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see him go 7, 8 rounds. Really kind of see a little bit of challenge. See,
I'm I'm
because
gonna
man,
watch
I
that.
think
I'm gonna watch his fight, but I don't know who on the other card or all that other shit. I
I
ain't
haven't
checking
seen
for.
anything about the undercard there. That one's going to be on the zone. You got another fight that's going to be on ESPN. I got down here at the bottom. Should be coming up. Two Spanish fighters, if I'm correct. Can't remember their name, but it'll come up down here. That fight's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Ortiz fight, and then you got the IBF World Featherweight title. Luis Alberto Lopez versus Angelino Leo. August 10th. That's going to be on the ESPN. I like them little guys. It's always a lot of action. IBF at that division. I think that's the Bam Rodriguez division, right around there. So that'll be a nice little setup there. But hey, man, that's it, guys. I ain't got no more news. You got any more news for us?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Do what we do, baby. Big Spade, take him out this motherfucker.
Man, y'all already know, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Join us when y'all see us going live. You know what I'm saying? Give us your thoughts, man. We just going up. We learning this shit though. We going and we learning, and I'm
Yeah,
getting game from everybody. So I might be looking at y'all shit, and we might be doing that shit our next show. It ain't no. We just like what we see, man, and we trying to get better, man. We trying to get up there with the big dog. So y'all know,
that's
keep
it.
showing us love, keep subscribing, and we going up. Go ahead, Jeff. What you was to say?
Hey, September 23rd, we've been invited to our first boxing event, or September 13th, my bad.
Oh
Our
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
boxing
yeah,
event,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
be going to that up in Indiana, South Indiana, at the Caesar Casino. So
Yep,
we're
yep,
gonna get
yep,
some
yep.
good amateur footage for you guys. We're gonna get some good shit. Hopefully, we get to talk to some of these guys. I know the guy personally throwing the event, so
Yep,
we
yep.
might be able to get some, extra, benefits to that fight and get you guys some background footage and start getting this footage for bourbon and boxing rolling, baby. Getting in these gyms, talking to these amateurs, giving them a platform to showcase their shit on, baby. It's bourbon and boxing. You know what we doing? Just getting bigger and bigger and
Yeah,
bigger.
for sure.
Yeah, episode 75, baby. Thank you all for joining us, man. It's your boy Chef Jeff, baby. And
Big spade. Let's go.
yeah, you see that? I'm coming for you. Coming for you.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't even work out anymore. I need to.
It looked like something under there. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My wife don't give me none. That's my arm. Clown. All right, guys, man.
All
Stay
right.
real. Thank y'all for joining us.